welcome to another session. So here I'll be discussing a question and then we will discuss the answer the way you need to write the answer, okay? So the question is related to division of labor, and here we need to compare the division of labor framework of Émile Durkheim and Karl Marx. So they discuss the views of Karl Marx and Émile Durkheim in relation to division of labor. So this is a very common question. So they'll ask you to compare division of labor with respect to the Marx and Durkheim framework. See, the thing is that division of labor is directly you have studied when it comes to Durkheim, but Marx, some of you have the confusion, right? So it's nothing but alienation. So if you have studied the theory of alienation, that's what we are talking about as the division of labor. In fact, division of labor is what alienating. So Marx views is about that only. Okay, so we will make a comparison. Even if the question is about division of labor with respect to Marx and Durkheim, still, if you can and if you know, you can talk about the other thinkers also, and that will add more value to your answer. Like you can talk about Adam Smith if you want, even Herbert Spencer, Max Weber, at least you can talk about, right? So that's how you'll be writing this answer. So talk about Marx's understanding of division of labor, talk about Durkheim's understanding of division of labor, the comparison you can make, right? So this is what on one side Marx is talking about, it is alienating, but on the other side Durkheim is talking about it is integrating society. So you can discuss all those dimensions. I'll be guiding you through the framework of answer, because Marx theory, I have taken it a 1.5 session, Durkheim division of labor, another 1 session. So this is not a class and this is just a revision session. So I'll go through that, okay? So see, when we talk about division of labor, firstly, all these are result of industrial revolution that brought transformative changes in European society. So when we started with sociology, that's the first topic that we addressed also. And there is a shift from small scale domestic production to large scale factory based production, especially in capitalism. So that resulted, that means that came the division of labor came along with that. What's division of labor? You can define, right? Splitting up of activities into number of parts. That's the definition given by Durkheim. Otherwise, also you can simply give a definition, splitting task into specialized roles. Why? It is basically to enhance efficiency. So from the economic side, if you look at it, division of labor is something which is going to improve efficiency, improve productivity, and thereby profitability. Right, and that become a central phenomena of analysis. When it comes to sociology, we are analyzing, many thinkers have analyzed also, Durkheim, Marx, or prominently you will be discussing these perspectives. So when we talk about Durkheim, you will see something which was economic at that point of time, right? Efficiency, productivity, profitability, but Durkheim have taken it in a sociological way, right? How it is integrating society, right? How we are dependent on others. We seek in others what we lack in ourselves, and associations are formed wherever there is a true exchange of service. This is what Durkheim is talking about, and we have done that in detail. So if we are going to compare, Marx criticized the division of labor as exploitative under capitalism and as alienating the workers, but Durkheim emphasized its functional role, that is maintaining that social integration or social cohesion. So we will be getting into the details of that. So guys, theories, I'm assuming that you clearly know, so there is no point in me wasting time in that. You can talk about Marx's basic understanding. His analysis is rooted in his materialistic conception of history and the critique to capitalism. So the types of division of labor, you can discuss the social division of labor and then division of labor in industry. So social division of labor means that exists universally and involves the allocation of societal tasks, like food production, crafting, governance, and other things. That is basically to maintain the social life. That's seen as a natural part of human societies. And then again, division of labor in industries. That is because of emergence of capitalist society, right? That was characterized by the specialized role in factory production, basically to enhance efficiency, productivity, and thereby profitability. And that resulted in mass production, but fundamentally, alters the relationship between the workers and their labor. So if you look at the implications, according to Marx, or we can discuss about alienation. So mostly worker alienation. And you discuss that 4 different types of alienation: alienation from the product, alienation from the production process, alienation from the fellow workers, and alienation from self. So you talk about workers lose control and the ownership. So you don't have the control over the product that you create. And here subject is the worker, object is the product, but here the object becomes the master of subject, and the relation between subject and object inverse. So this is what happened. That anyway we discussed in detail, so I'm not getting into that. Just talk about that 4 different types of alienation: alienation from the product, alienation from the production process, because everything was monotonous and mechanical, and you just need to man the machine, just need to control the machine. Everything is predefined and prefixed. You don't have much role in that. And then alienation from fellow workers, right? And then alienation from self. So you can say work is compartmentalized. So because of that itself, you will be alienated from the fellow workers. Even you won't get time to see them, or you won't get even time to talk to them, right? So there is different levels of alienation. That's exactly what we were discussing. And then finally, alienation from self. Work is just for the survival, and labor is commodified, reducing the workers to mere tools to achieve that profit. So finally, alienation from the self. You can talk about de-alienation also, or dehumanization also. So dehumanization, where you can talk about workers lose creativity and self-expression, and that workers becoming cogs in the capitalist machinery. Class conflict you can mention. So the division of labor, in fact, deepens the divide between bourgeois and the proletariat, or the worker and the capitalist. And Marx believed that this conflict will culminate into a revolutionary overthrow of capitalism towards socialism, and finally end in communism. Right? So again, workers here generate the surplus value, but profit belong to whom? It belongs to the capitalist. So that create that antagonist cooperation also. You need to work, that is because of the survival. So there is a cooperation that is antagonist cooperation. Right? So that again reinforce that economic inequality, the haves becoming richer and richer, and the have-nots becoming poorer and poorer and poorer. So these are the dimensions that actually discussed by Marx. Now you can also talk about Friedrich Engels and Antonio Gramsci, who's supporting Marxian view. Friedrich Engels, in fact, again criticized the exploitative nature of capitalist industrialization. He argued that it exacerbates the workers' alienation. Right? And again, Antonio Gramsci highlighted the role of cultural hegemony in maintaining that capitalist domination, and that's making the workers, complicit in their own subjugation. Okay, so you can talk about this cultural hegemony, Antonio Gramsci, Friedrich Engels, again, supporting Marxian views. Now coming to Émile Durkheim. So if time and space is there, if it is a 20 marker, briefly give a definition and then talk about, causal functional explanation. He's talking about the cause of division of labor, and he's talking about the function of division of labor. All those things, if possible, in one paragraph you can mention. I'm not here interested in discussing the cause and all those things here, right? It's about this question of survival, and then you create a specialization, right? Competition and all those things. Now here, Durkheim give a functionalist approach, see things in a functional perspective, and positive aspects of division of labor. So for him, division of labor is a social fact. He considered it as a social fact. It's external to individual, but shapes their behavior. And it's arising, because of population density and social complexity. I have given that block diagram and everything, go through that, explain the cause if required, if time and space is there. And he talked about mechanical solidarity, organic solidarity. That itself was a separate question. In traditional society, that society is based on mechanical solidarity, where it's a pre-industrial society based on homogeneity, shared norms and strong collective conscience. So the division of labor is minimum in that society. Organic society, which is a industrial society, the capitalist society, which is based on interdependence, and that interdependence is arising from specialization or division of labor. So here the collective conscience is weak, but there is a strong mutual reliance. The interdependence is strong in terms of division of labor, right? So division of labor here integrate people, because in terms of this interdependence, we seek in others what we lack in ourselves. We don't have everything, so we need to depend on other people. So that's exactly what how the society is getting integrated because of division of labor. So you can write in detail about that, and you can talk about the normal forms also. He's talking about anomie. So that's a state of normlessness which is caused by rapid social change and reflect the industrial conflicts, the meaningless work and class antagonism. But for him, this is temporary, right? And then inequality. You can discuss about division of labor based on unequal opportunities that disrupt the solidarity. For example, the caste system in India, and then inadequate organization, right? So poorly coordinated tasks that lead to inefficiency and social disintegration. So three different forms of anomaly he discussed, and we discussed that in details in the theory. Guys, you can go through the PDF, so everything is very clear. If I'm presuming that you attended the course, and that's why I'm going fast. So other thinkers who are supporting Durkheim or the functionalist perspective, you can talk about Parson and Merton. Easy, right? Because you know that very well. So Parson emphasized, in fact, the functional interdependence of societal institutions. He echoed, again, supported Durkheim's view on a role of division of labor in maintaining the social order. And Merton, again, following the Durkheim ideas, particularly the concept of anomy, he explained deviance in industrial society, and that's a separate 10-marker question. Deviance in industrial society. There you need to talk about Merton's concept. Now, apart from this, so this is how the framework is. You can make the comparison. One side it is conflict perspective, the other side it is functional perspective. On one side, if you look at it, he's talking about alienation. The other side is talking about integration. On one side, he's talking about you lose control over the product. On the other side, Durkheim is talking about you get that much required autonomy to create. Because when division of labor is there, you are getting that autonomy to produce and create. So your creativity will be enhanced. That's what Durkheim says. Again, nature of division of labor, if you see, exploitative and alienating under capitalism for Marx, but functional and integrative in complex societies for Durkheim. And if you look at the focus, Marx emphasis on class conflict and inequality. Durkheim emphasis on social cohesion or integration and the interdependence. And what is the outcome according to Marx? Alienation, dehumanization, class conflict, etc. For Durkheim, it's a solidarity with potential for abnormalities like anomy and inequality. That's possible, but mostly it's solidarity, integration, interdependence. And what is the solution for Marx? This is again very important. You need to talk about the solution. For Marx, it's socialism or communism, abolition of private property and establishment of classless society. But for Durkheim, it's a proper regulation and governance to address those temporary abnormalities, and the system will function. It keep on moving in an equilibrium. Okay, then you can talk about the relevance, where you can talk about, again, how these concepts are relevant. Apart from that, in case if you need to add other perspectives, you can talk about George Simmel, analyze the psychological impact of division of labor, particularly its role in shaping individual identity and social interaction. So warned that excessive specialization could lead to fragmentation of the self. So that's what George Simmel, just take it down, that name, and you can refer it and you can update it to your notes. Otherwise, you get it from the PDF. Max Weber, if you see, division of labor, he examined within bureaucratic structures and he highlighted its efficiency, but he criticized the potential creation of iron cage of rationalization, right? So iron cage of rationality, that can be a potential 10-marker again, and that limits individual freedom and creativity. So see, he highlighted the efficiency on one side, but at the same time, he's talking about that iron cage of rationality. George Simmel, I hope this is clear. Apart from that, if you want to talk about Adam Smith, you can talk about Adam Smith. He highlighted the economic advantage of division of labor, like increased productivity, efficiency. And he warned of the potential monotony and intellectual stagnation among the workers. If you want Herbert Spencer also, you can discuss. He viewed division of labor as a natural outcome of societal evolution by using the evolutionary perspective. And he argued that specialization increases societal efficiency, but it must be balanced with mechanisms to ensure the social cohesion. So these, I don't want you to write too much about, in fact, Adam Smith and Herbert Spencer, if you want, you can avoid. Adam Smith, I added because he is the pioneer when he defined division of labor first and other things, right? So father of economics, of course, that's why I just mentioned about it. Otherwise, talk about Durkheim, talk about Marx, Max Weber, you need to add, okay? So you can talk about that iron cage of rationality and then make the table and the comparison. And you can talk about the relevance. What's the relevance of Marx perspective? It's still relevant. It criticizes capitalism, particularly, in discussions about income inequality, gig economics, and worker exploitation. And see, whatever happens till the time capitalism or exploitation of worker is there, exploitation of man by man is there, Marxian perspective is relevant. Okay, and it again inspires movements advocating for labor rights and economic justice. So that's the relevance of Marxian perspective. Durkheim, in fact, this is more of theoretical, more of academic in nature, right? Offers insight into maintaining social cohesion in increasingly diverse and specialized societies. And his concept of anomie is particularly relevant in understanding social disruption in rapidly changing economies. So that's all about this question is all about. We have covered everything. But apart from that, you need to be very clear with the theory, and that's when you will be able to answer this question properly. Now, guys, let me conclude this. So both Durkheim and Marx gave divergent views, but if you look at it, these are complementary, right? If you consider this as a complementary analysis of the division of labor, in fact, it is reflecting their broader theoretical concerns, incorporated both the dimensions, how it is functional, how it is alienating. Even Weber is also talking about how it is giving efficiency, but at the same time, how it is acting as iron cage of rationality, where individual autonomy is coming down. Right, Marx criticized it as a tool of exploitation and alienation under capitalism, but Durkheim emphasized its functional role in fostering social integration, social cohesion. So, apart from that, we discussed about Smith, Adam Smith, Weber, George Simmel. In fact, they further enrich the understanding. So that's all about this session, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you got some value from the session. If you like the video, share it with your friends also. In case if you're looking for any mentorship on sociology or test series or the course, check out the details in the description and get in touch with us. So you can download the PDF anyway from the description, which is free of cost. So see you guys in the next session. Thank you so much.